Did you know? Religion in Burghandia. New Moon, the mythical era, the age of plenty. Long before the arrival of the Lysons, the heart of Burghandia beat in the fertile lands along the Salsa River. This was the domain of the Luna dynasty, a line of rulers so attuned to the land they were known as the crop monarchs. Their reign was not one of conquest, but of cultivation, an era of legendary abundance where famine was a forgotten word. Their spiritual life was a whispered reverence for the soil, known as Koranism. This faith centered on 6 protective goddesses who embodied the land's vitality. Sarisa, who blessed the fields for a plentiful harvest. Pomposa, guardian of flowers, whose fragrance filled the air. Mela and Guaracana, twin patrons of fruit, feasting, and wine. Meduria, the silent protector of the deep forests. Agrelaya, who watched over every hearth, ensuring safe births and healthy children. Victoriae, who instilled courage in the hearts of the people. The long-lived Luna monarchs were seen as divine conduits, their silver glow a sign of favor from rituals tied to lunar cycles and sacred groves. In this era, faith and rule were inseparable from the earth. Milky Way, the post-vanishing era, the rise of the Ninefold Faith. The arrival of the Lysons around 1000 VC shattered this idyllic harmony. With them came a new cosmic order, the Ninefold Faith. Inspired by Taino cosmology but codified by the Laishan aristocracy, this was a faith of sky, sea, and storm, a structured hierarchy of powerful, often unforgiving gods. In Victoria, the old groves were overshadowed by marble rotundas. At the center of worship stood a circle of 9 braziers, each bearing the symbol of a deity: Yocahu's spiral sun, Atabey's crescent shell, Guabanchex's twin tornado eyes, Juracon's flaming wheel, Isla the sea mother, Aguibana the war king, Makatori Guayaba the lord of the dead, the trickster spirit Opio Guabaron, and the lesser, feared altar of Moboyas's hollow serpent eye. Worship was no longer a personal communion with the land, but a rigid civic duty. Laishan Bohik, priests, wielded immense political power, and devotion became a mark of noble legitimacy. The old goddesses of Koranism were not fought, but forgotten, their earthbound whispers drowned out by the thunderous pronouncements from the new Skyfire altars. Fog the blind times, the silence of the gods. From roughly 1300 VC to 1905 VC, the divine order crumbled. The grand rituals of the Ninefold Faith became hollow pageantry, performed by decadent priests. Temples fell into corruption, and the sacred names of the gods were profaned in back-alley cults. This spiritual rot manifested in the mortal world as plagues, famines, and moral collapse. It seemed the gods, once so demanding of worship, had simply turned away. In this age of silence and shadow, many believed Burghandia had been abandoned entirely. Herb, the life gods era, the compassionate rebirth. Out of the despair of the blind times walked Crassus the Eternal, a figure of divine power with no memory of his origin. He wandered the blighted lands not as a prophet, but as a healer. His simple acts of kindness a stark contrast to the hollow rituals of the past. By his side, he raised 2 orphan children, the twins, who became living avatars of harmony and rebirth. Crassus did not seek to destroy the Ninefold Faith, but to reinterpret it. His teachings, collected in the sacred Charis book, reimagined the gods not as distant cosmic entities, but as personal, living forces within every individual. This new path, the life god's faith, centered on compassion, healing, and shared humanity. It was a faith for the common folk, accessible and deeply personal, and it spread like wildfire through a world starved of hope. Cyclone the present era, a fractured faith. Today, the spiritual landscape of Burghandia is a fractured mosaic. On the sanctuary Isle of Domo, the Yaya Council has made the life god's faith its cornerstone, uniting many under its gentle doctrine. Yet, in the outer regions, older and wilder beliefs stir. In the windswept plains of Stepia, warrior tribes venerate ancestral spirit animals alongside the fiercer gods of the old Ninefold pantheon. In the dark forests of Sigurd, pre-Laishan rites of soil and shadow endure, their rituals hidden from outsiders. In the militaristic state of Grithium, martial orders blend the worship of the storm goddess Guabanchex with rigid codes of battle. Meanwhile, dangerous new theologies fester in the shadows. Fringe cults like the Crimson Shroud preach that blood is the 10th unspoken god, while the nihilistic Hollow Suns claim that mortals must usurp the silent gods and seize divinity for themselves. In this fractured world, an old temple proverb has found new meaning, a quiet prayer whispered by all faiths. We do not worship to remember the gods. We worship so the gods remember us.